Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Push with Nick and KP. We are back once again to bring you a weekly recap, this time of SmackDown, which took place on February 20th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Our usual superstar arrivals to kick off the show with another showing of that mysterious box that we saw on Monday Night Raw. We then get into our actual first segment of the evening, which has the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes making his way down to the ring. Cody is soaking up the crowd ovation, perhaps maybe a little too long, though, because before he can get out anything other than asking the local crowd what they want to talk about, Jacob Fatu enters the fray. Fatu asks that we keep it 100 and tell Cody he wouldn't even be going to the Elimination Chamber if it wasn't for Drew. Fatu then turns its attention to Drew to call him out, but is instead answered by Nick Aldis, who tells us that he gave Drew the night off because he can't risk losing someone during Mania season. Drew then shows up in a suite in the arena while talking some trash to both Cody and Jacob, the latter who runs through some security to try to get to Drew before he's calmed down by all this and then heads up back to the back. To end the segment, Cody says we're not after Drew because he's the champ, we're after him because he's an asshole. I thought this was a really good bit to kick off Friday Night SmackDown, trying to continue this rivalry that's been very heated up until this point. Already has me quite intrigued, but yeah, just more of this, more of the same for me. I still don't quite know how they're going to get to these three men, but regardless, it seems like everyone is full speed ahead. The first match of the evening has Ilya Dragunov going up against one half of the tag team champions and that of Tama Tonga, who, as mentioned by the commentary team, has been on quite a tear lately, and I would agree. Tama, of course, is joined by the rest of the MFT, and this does end up helping Tama get the win here, which absolutely should be expected. You know, you outnumber your opponent. You can put an asterisk next to that win, however, if you'd like. But regardless, another big win for Tama as he hits a cutthroat to get the win over Ilya, which, like I said, I think is a very impressive win no matter how you do it. After the match, Ilya tries to attack Solo, which obviously didn't play out well as he's very much outnumbered. Matt Cardona and Apollo Crews come down to try to assist, but their efforts too are futile. We then see Uncle Howdy video package who tells Solo that he uses his family as a crutch. Howdy then challenges Solo to a match where he will come down to the ring on his own and basically challenging him to do the same. But a great match here. Continued drama between the MFT and the Wyatt Six as well. I can't imagine Ilya taking this loss well, and I have a feeling he'll be back. He'll be hungry for revenge quite soon. We then see Jade Cargill come down to the ring after announcing that she took out her opponent last week in Jordan Grace. Jade says that no matter who challenges her or when, it's going to be on her time, and that she's going to continue to remind us that she's that bitch. So more of the same from Cargill here, not too much noteworthy here. Something that is noteworthy, though, however, is she does mention that she'll be on Raw this upcoming episode, as Liv will be choosing her WrestleMania opponent, which does make sense. Elimination Chamber being just 8 days from today. We then get our next match of the evening, which has Charlotte Flair going up against Kiana James, going up against Nia Jax in a triple threat Elimination Chamber qualifier. This is awesome chants from the crowd, and I can't disagree. This match has a great showing by all three women, of which Kiana continues to impress me the most. Every woman, though, gets plenty of offense here, and nobody looks weak. In the end, Charlotte locks in a figure eight on Nia Jax, seemingly looking like she's going to get the win, but somehow Kiana sweeps in a very unique finish as she gets in for a crucifix pin to get the win over Charlotte, of all people, to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. This clearly a very big upset when it could potentially be her breakout moment, as dubbed by the commentary team. Since arriving to the main roster. Like I said, Kiana James continued to impress and getting a win over the likes of Charlotte Flair. You know, obviously that's a big deal. So yeah, I have my eyes closed on Kiana to see kind of what she can do. But she seems like she just has all the right looks, the right moveset, just seemingly has the entire package. So yeah, looking forward to see what we see from her going forward. Kiana will join Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka in the Elimination Chamber. So just leaving just one more spot to determine over the next week. We then have our next match of the evening, which has Kit Wilson going up against Oba Femi. The bell does get rung a bit prematurely as Kit is outside of the ring, but that doesn't stop Kit from stopping everything and reading a couple poems to Oba. And what I thought was a pretty entertaining segment, but maybe did carry on a bit too long. As you might expect, this does end with Oba taking out Kit to continue his dominant tear. We then get our next match of the evening, which has Tiffany Stratton going up against Alba Fire with Chelsea Green in a wheelchair, a bedazzled boot. Few can do it quite like Chelsea Green, entertaining no matter what you do with her. Alba looking for revenge on Chelsea's behalf, as she did injure that ankle in the same match that Tiffany qualified for the Elimination Chamber. Both women show out here, which we know both are very capable of doing so when it matters most. Chelsea is constantly talking trash outside of the ring until Tiffany finally confronts her. Alba takes advantage of this, but it's not quite enough to win the match because Tiffany quickly takes back control and lands a world's prettiest moonsault to get the win over Alba. So just continuing to kind of build Tiffany up. She's looked very good since her return as well. Before the next match, we do see a very intense promo in the back between Cody and Sammy. Sammy is mad at Cody because he feels he got stabbed in the back to win that match last week. Cody then argues that Sammy is the only thing preventing himself from succeeding. Trick Williams is thrown in here a bit, very loved by the crowd here in this moment, before Sammy, after this, then apologizes to Cody. So I don't love the ending there, but clearly showing that he is a bit conflicted. But what I do love is the potential of Cody and Sammy feud. Sign me up. I think both of us, both KP and I, would very much like to see that rivalry play out. We then get our second Elimination Chamber triple threat qualifier of the evening, which has Carmelo Hayes going up against Damian Priest, going up against Trick Williams. This one wastes absolutely no time to get started. Some very cool moments here between Trick and Carmelo, reminding us of their times in NXT. This is awesome chants once again from the crowd and another great Elimination Chamber qualifier match. In the end, Trick Williams gets the win with a trick shot on Damian Priest that will now join Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, LA Knight, and Javon Evans with just one spot remaining on the men's side as well. No issues from me. Trick Williams getting the win. Obviously, a very big fan of him. I don't think there was really an outcome here as long as Trick or Carmelo won. But Damian Priest looked pretty good here as well. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he did look good here. Our next match of the evening has the current Women's U.S. Champion, Julia, going up against half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, Rhea Ripley. This is another really good contest, and Julia looked really good here as well against a very game Rhea Ripley. Unfortunately, this one is cut short as Nia Jax and Lash Legend get involved to have this one end in DQ. A real shame, though, because this match really was coming along quite nicely. Julia looking very good, and obviously Rhea always being very consistent, so no issues there. Of course, Io does come down to the ring to help Rhea, but this does send Nia and Lash up the ramp. But just a quick preview of what we will see next week as these four will meet and the women's tag team titles on the line. We then get into our main event, which has Aleister Black going up against Randy Orton. Another quality match here. Aleister did control a good portion of the beginning parts of this match. Randy finally takes control towards the latter part, and a lot of this being outside of the ring. At a moment where Randy seemingly has taken control of the match, Drew McIntyre then randomly appears, hits Randy with the title, throws him back in the ring before being chased off by Cody. And he chases off Drew, but the damage has already been done. Randy kind of nonchalantly rolls back into the ring, clearly dazed from that title shot. Aleister takes advantage of this, hits a black mass, and gets the win over Randy Orton. So I think there is a bit of a story there, maybe perhaps, with Aleister saying earlier in the evening that he's going to bring out the worst part of Randy Orton, but Randy says he doesn't need to do that to beat Aleister. Obviously, he didn't, but there are obviously some shenanigans there. If that is the story we're going with, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But regardless, a big win for Aleister, no matter how you do it, over someone of the likes of Randy Orton in the main event. So overall, yeah, very packed episode. Lots of in-ring action and lots of good in-ring action as well, at least for me. Lots of continued storylines here to boot. Obviously, just being 8 days out from Elimination Chamber. every match kind of served a purpose. Although for me, the Elimination Chamber qualifiers were both the highlight. Just both being very good matches. It is a shame we only have two more of those because those matches have been a ton of fun. But yeah, clearly full throttle here on the road to WrestleMania. For me, I give this probably an 8 out of 10. Just a very good episode, very consistent, lots of good in-ring action. So in the end, that's what I care about most. But then you add some storylines on there, of course, I'm going to enjoy it. But enough from us here at The Push. What did you all make of this episode of SmackDown? The highlights, lowlights, and everything in between. We'd love to hear from you. Please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, as that does help us out over here at The Push, very much so. Until next time, this has been The Push with Nick and KP. We'll see you soon. Take care.